All right, what's up, guys? I'm gonna be doing the NFL schedule prediction video now. Be predicting how each team is gonna do for the whole entire year, and yeah, let's do this. So first up is the AFC North. I think the Bengals are gonna win the AFC North. It's gonna be very tight though. Ravens and the Steelers can also win it. I think they're both very solid teams. I don't know how how the Ravens are gonna be this year. They're usually very good, but I feel like they're gonna go a step back a little bit, so I feel like the Bengals can pull it off, especially if Joe Burrow. Well, only if Joe Burrow stays healthy. If Joe Burrow gets injured again, then my prediction is completely off. But Joe Burrow has been unhealthy for a lot of years, so I feel like this is the year he stays healthy and they can pull it off. All right, next up is the AFC South. So AFC South, I think, is going to be the Texans winning it. It's going to be a three-way tie between the Texans, Colts, and Jaguars, and the Titans way at the bottom. Oh yeah, for the AFC North, I forgot to mention that the Browns are at the way bottom because I don't think they're going to do very well with their QB situation. But back to the AFC South, I think the Texans will end up winning it based off tiebreakers, I guess. But after I picked all the teams, the Texans ended up being number one in the AFC South, and I guess that's just how it will be. That's my prediction, at least. Any three of those teams can win the division. I think the division is winnable for any of them. All right, next up is the AFC East. So I think the Bills will come out on top for this division. They've been consistently good throughout their Josh Allen era. I think they're very good in the regular season. For playoffs, it's another discussion. Not sure how they will do in the playoffs this year, but this is the regular season prediction. So I think they'll do pretty good. Got the Patriots shortly behind, and the Dolphins and Jets in the gutters. They're both horrible, I think. You're not going to see anything special. The Dolphins completely gutted their offense, and I don't know how their defense is, but they're better than the Jets. The Jets are just going to be awful, 2-15 this year. All right, next up we have the AFC West. The AFC West, I have the Broncos winning. I think it'll be pretty tight race as well. I think any of these teams can win the division except the Raiders. Raiders could do better with Kirk. We'll have to see. I could definitely be wrong about the Raiders, but it was just really hard to pick against these other teams in the AFC West. I think the Broncos will win it though. Chargers slightly behind, and the Chiefs in third place. I think Chiefs will miss the playoffs at 10-7. The NFC North, I have the Lions winning it. I think this is a pretty safe take. I think the Lions have been pretty good the past few years. It was a little bit worse last year, but I think they will win the division. Obviously, I want the Vikings to win the division, but I think 10-7 is pretty good for them still, and I think they will make the playoffs with that. And yeah, I think they'll get a wild card spot, and it'll look pretty good for the Vikings. So Vikings are in an uncomfortable situation at QB. We'll just see how it goes. So that's why I didn't pick them to win more than 10 games. And for the Bears, I think they are gonna be mid, I'd say. Same with the Packers. I think they're gonna be solid teams. They're gonna be good teams. They're just gonna be in a loaded division, so it's gonna be a battle for the top of that division and for second place and get to the playoffs as a wild card. But yeah, if the Lions win in that, hurts to say, but I think they're the best team in the division. Right, next up, I have the NFC South. So NFC South, they have the Falcons winning at 7-10. This division is a joke, and they need to change how the playoffs work because it's going to be diabolical having a 7-10 team in the playoffs if my predictions play out. But yeah, I think the Bucks will be pretty good as well. for their division standard. I don't think they're going to be anything insane. I don't think they're going to be competing for the Super Bowl. Yeah, I have the Falcons, Michael Penix leading them. Hopefully not Tua. If it's Tua leading them, then I don't think they're going to win the division. All right, next up is the NFC East. The NFC East, I have the Eagles winning it. Not really surprised there. They've been the best team in that division for a while now. I think the Cowboys and Commanders are very good as well, and they'll be slightly behind them, and they'll be competing for a wild card spot. So yeah, I have Eagles winning that. Not much else to say. Giants are going to be booty butt cheeks, and yeah. Finally, I have the NFC West. The NFC West, I have the Seahawks winning it. They're Super Bowl champs, so it's hard not to pick them. The Rams are very close behind because of their loaded defense this year and offense, so I had to pick them a lot for these games. And the 49ers are going to be competing as well, so that's going to be a very scary division, except for the Cardinals. Cardinals are suffering in that division with how good their opponents are. But yeah, I think Seahawks win that, but the Rams could easily upset that division with that how loaded their roster is. But yeah, I'm excited for this year, and I hope that the Vikings can do better than 10-7 and hopefully win their division. But for prediction, I had to pick slightly lower than how I wanted to go. If I did pick them to go higher, I'd get called crazy in the comments. But yeah,